welcome to Plumbing Solutions Educational Series. In this episode, we're going to be talking about our portable generators. Now, sometimes our job sites don't have power to them yet, so we have to bring a generator to run our big drills and things like that. Now, what is a generator? Well, a generator is taking mechanical energy and converting it into electrical energy by basically spinning a shaft inside of a magnetic field and getting those little electrons all excited is what it does. Now, that mechanical energy could be the movement of water, steam turning a turbine, wind, wave action. With our generator here, we're taking an internal combustion gasoline motor to spin our shaft, much like what's on a lawnmower. Now, a couple things before you leave the shop with this thing. You're going to want to check to make sure it's got fuel, and all generators have their fuel tank on top. Sometimes you just have to open the cap and look down in there and make sure you've got gas. This one does have a convenient fuel gauge on top of it that you can look through this little glass and just see how much gas you've got. The next thing you're going to want to do is check the oil. And this is, like I said, it's pretty much like a lawnmower engine. A lot of our equipment do run off of these little gas motors, and all of them are going to have an oil plug down here on the bottom. Most of the time it's yellow, sometimes they're black, but you're going to screw that out, and it's got a little dipstick on it. You're going to make sure you've got enough oil in between that low mark and that high mark. And this one is good, and that oil looks pretty clean. So you're going to put that back in there. Now you want to put it back snug, not tight. Don't put a pair of pliers on it because you're going to be checking this a lot. But that's what happens a lot of times when these things get burned up or go bad. Nobody ever bothered to put oil in it. Nobody took that step to just check it before they left. And now while we're still looking at the front of this thing here, I want you to know there is an on-off switch here. If that is in the off position, you're never going to be able to crank it. So you're going to have to turn that switch on. Now, we're going to go over to the other side over here. This is how you're going to crank it. I'll show you how to use a choke and stuff like that. Getting the generator started. First off, there is the on-off switch over here on the front. You're going to want to make sure that's in the on position, or you're just going to be pulling and pulling like crazy, not knowing what's going on. So turn that switch on. Generators are equipped with a fuel on and off switch here. The reason why that is because a lot of times these are used as emergency generators. They're not used all the time. So you're going to want to turn that gas off when it goes to be stored for a long period of time. That way we don't get nasty, gunky gas, all old gas clogged up in here. That's what that's for. So make sure you're in the on position, which should be up. And then, of course, you've got your choke over here. All these little engines have this choke. If this is the first time cranking it, you're going to have to turn that choke on. And then your pull to start cord. Hear how it was about to die? It starts shaking around. That's when you go kick that choke back off. If you leave that choke on, eventually it's going to shut down. But that's it. You're ready to go. You're making power. Let's talk about some of the options you've got available to you on the front of this thing. First thing you're going to see is this little red light. That's your low oil light. That's going to turn on when the engine oil gets low. If the engine oil gets too low, the motor's going to shut off and you're not going to be able to crank it back up until you put some more oil in it. That's there as a safety feature because these things are designed to run continuously for long periods of time without supervision, and that's there to prevent damage to the machine. The next thing you got is your on-off switch, and of course you have to have this on to crank the motor and keep it running, and when you're done with it you would turn that off and it shuts the motor down. The next thing you got here is your 12 volt DC car charger port. You can plug anything into there that you could plug into a car if you wanted to charge your phone or something right there. It does have a breaker on it that if this gets overloaded, that will pop out, and in order for that to work, you have to push this back in. The next thing you've got is 2 more breakers. These are for your 2 outlets down here. Now, it does have a 240 outlet, which is a bigger outlet. We're not really going to use that for anything. This would be for a larger appliance, and really this little generator, you're not going to be running like a clothes dryer off of this or something. But the main ones you're going to be using are these 2 here. Now, if you're trying to run 2 saws at one time, go with the top ones first. Plug one into here and one into there. Don't plug 2 into the same outlet right off the bat. Now, you can use all 4 outlets at the same time, but I recommend when using a generator, kind of try to cut back on that, and really you're going to want to run 2 saws at once to not overload this thing, because you can, and those will pop out, and then you have to push them back in and kind of start over. That's pretty much it. It's real simple. I mean, it's just a gas motor generating electricity for you.